Hey everyone, welcome back to Speak English Podcast, your favorite place to practice real English in a fun and natural way. I'm David, and today's episode is going to be super useful.
Thanks, David. And hi, lovely people. I'm so happy to be here again. We love seeing how committed you are to learning English. You're making progress. Seriously.
You know, sometimes just changing a few simple words in your vocabulary can make a huge difference in how native you sound when you speak.
It's true. If you've ever felt like your English sounds a bit too robotic or formal, don't worry. We're going to fix that together. And it's easier than you think.
Today, we're sharing top words that native speakers use every day. The ones that instantly make your English sound smoother, more natural, and more confident.
And the best part? These are words you already know. You just need to learn how to use them like a native. You'll start sounding more fluent almost instantly.
But before we dive in, do us a quick favor. Like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell. That way, you won't miss any tips that will boost your English every week.
And trust me, you'll want to stick around for this one. Some of these words are so simple, but once you start using them, people will notice how fluent you sound.
The truth is, sounding fluent in English isn't always about using long, complicated vocabulary. Most of the time, it's the simple words, used with the right timing and tone, that make you sound more like a native speaker.
Native speakers use certain words and expressions all the time, without even thinking. These words add color, emotion, and rhythm to their sentences, and they help conversations feel more natural and connected.
These aren't technical grammar terms or academic phrases. They're everyday words like literally, totally, actually, I, mean, you know, and more. When you use them naturally, your English instantly feels smoother.
And what makes them so powerful is that they're flexible. You can use them in casual conversations, friendly chats, even when expressing disagreement or surprise. They help you react and sound engaged, just like native speakers do.
Another thing is that these words help fill the silence when you're thinking. Instead of pausing awkwardly, you can say something like, well, or let me think, and it buys you a second while still sounding fluent and confident.
Learning how to use these words correctly also helps you avoid sounding too formal or robotic. English is a very expressive language, and native speakers don't always speak in perfect grammar. They speak with feeling and flow.
If you've ever watched a native conversation and thought, why do they sound so relaxed while I feel tense when I speak? It's often because they're using these words naturally, and you're trying to speak too perfectly.
So our goal is not to teach you new vocabulary you'll forget tomorrow. It's to show you how to use the words you already know in a way that makes your English sound more alive, more confident, and more real.
It's a technique that works because it's based on real-life speech, not textbook examples. You'll hear these words in TV shows, podcasts, YouTube videos, and conversations every single day. They're everywhere in real English.
And once you understand when and how to use them, you'll start recognizing them everywhere, and you'll naturally begin using them yourself. That's when your English starts feeling less like practice and more like real communication.
Let's say someone gives you a suggestion and you disagree. Instead of just saying, no, I don't agree, you could say, actually, I don't really think that's the best idea. That small word, actually, softens your response and makes it feel more natural and respectful.
Right, and imagine you're telling someone you really enjoyed a movie. Instead of saying, it was good, you could say, honestly, that movie was really good. I didn't expect to enjoy it that much. Now it sounds more expressive and personal, just like how native speakers would say it.
Or maybe you're not sure about something. You don't have to say, I don't know. Try saying, well, I'm not totally sure, but I think it starts around 7. The word well gives you time to think and keeps the flow of the conversation going. It feels more relaxed and confident.
Here's another one. If you agree with someone, instead of simply saying yes, you can say, yeah, definitely. I totally get what you mean. These kinds of responses sound much more like real conversations, full of connection, not just correctness.
Now imagine you're surprised. Instead of just saying, really? You can say, seriously? I had no idea that happened. The word seriously adds emphasis and emotion. It makes your reaction feel genuine and helps keep the conversation alive.
And if you're explaining something complicated, you can start with, basically, it means that, or, so, to put it simply. These expressions help guide the listener and make your explanation clearer, and they show you know how to lead the conversation.
Let's say someone tells you something strange and you want to react. Instead of being silent or giving a formal response, you can say, wow, that's actually kind of crazy. That's a super native reaction. It shows interest and keeps the tone friendly.
Or imagine you're not sure about someone's opinion and you want to be polite. You might say, I kind of see your point, but I'm not sure I agree completely. That's a smooth way to express a different opinion without sounding too direct or confrontational.
When you want to add confidence to your sentence, use words like absolutely or totally. For example, that's totally true. I've felt the same way before. These are the kinds of phrases that show energy and engagement in what you're saying.
And finally, if you're introducing your thoughts, use so or you know. Like, so, I was thinking about what you said earlier. Or, that actually makes a lot of sense. These little openers help you sound natural and keep the conversation flowing smoothly.
When you start using these native-style words, you immediately sound more relaxed, more fluent, and more natural. People stop focusing on your mistakes and start focusing on what you're actually saying, which is exactly what fluency is all about.
And the best part is that it helps you feel more fluent, too. Once you add these words to your speech, you stop thinking so much about grammar and start thinking more about expressing your thoughts clearly and confidently in real conversations.
These words also give your speaking rhythm and emotion. You're not just saying facts, you're communicating feelings, reactions, agreement, surprise, curiosity. That's what brings your English to life and makes people want to talk with you more.
Another amazing benefit is how much easier conversations become. You're no longer pausing awkwardly or feeling unsure about how to respond. These words give you time to think, space to breathe, and natural transitions between your ideas.
And don't forget, this is also a huge confidence booster. When you sound more like a native, people react more positively to you. They engage more, they listen more, and you start to enjoy the process of speaking English instead of fearing it.
It's also helpful when listening to native speakers. Once you know these words, you'll start hearing them all the time, in podcasts, shows, YouTube, and real conversations. It makes listening much easier and helps you follow the flow better.
Plus, when you use these words, your English stops sounding like something from a textbook and starts sounding like real life. People don't speak like grammar books. They speak in fast, emotional, expressive ways. And now, so can you.
Another great thing? These words are easy to learn and even easier to practice. You don't need hours of study. You just need to choose a few and start using them in your daily conversations, even with yourself when you're thinking in English.
And the more often you use them, the more natural they become. Before you know it, they'll be automatic. No need to memorize or plan. They'll just be a part of how you speak, just like they are for native speakers.
So if you want to boost your fluency, feel more confident, and connect better with other English speakers, This is one of the easiest and most powerful ways to do it. Trust me, your future conversations will thank you.
Let's break this down step by step so you can start using these words today. Step 1 is easy. Choose 3 to 5 native-style words that you liked from this episode. Just a few that feel natural or interesting to you.
Once you've picked your words, step 2 is to write a few example sentences using them. Don't overthink. Just write like you talk. For example, honestly, I really enjoyed that class. Or, actually, I don't think. That's true. Keep it simple and real.
Step 3. Say your sentences out loud. This is where the magic happens. When you say them out loud, you train your brain and mouth to work together. It helps you sound more confident and less hesitant when you speak English naturally.
Step 4 is to practice these words in context. Not just memorizing, but using them when talking about your day, describing how you feel, or reacting to something. You can even talk to yourself in English while doing your daily routine.
Step 5. Listen for these words when you watch English content. Pay attention to how native speakers use them, their tone, their timing, how they react. This will help you understand how these words really sound in everyday conversation.
Step 6 is to shadow what you hear. That means repeating exactly what someone says, with the same tone and rhythm. When someone says, "Well, I'm not sure," you pause the video and say it the same way. This builds natural fluency fast.
Step 7 is to start using these words in real conversations. If you don't have someone to talk to, leave voice messages to yourself or record little audios describing your day using those expressions. You'll notice big improvements.
Step 8 is to track your progress. Each week, add 2 or 3 new native words to your list. Keep practicing the old ones while learning the new ones. You'll build a personal vocabulary that grows naturally with your fluency.
Step 9. Don't rush. These words take time to become natural. Focus on sounding relaxed, not perfect. Even native speakers use these expressions casually, without thinking too much. So, be patient with yourself as you develop the habit.
And finally, step 10. Make it fun. Practice with friends, record yourself, or even create little dialogues. The more you enjoy the process, the faster you'll improve. And soon, you'll be speaking with ease and confidence like a native.
One common mistake learners make is overusing these native words in every single sentence. Saying actually or literally 5 times in one conversation doesn't sound natural. It sounds like you're forcing fluency instead of flowing with it.
Another mistake is using these words without understanding the feeling behind them. For example, saying seriously when you're not actually surprised can confuse the listener. You need to match your tone and expression to the meaning.
A lot of learners also forget that these words need to fit the context. Saying totally in a serious business setting might come off as too casual. Learning when and where to use these expressions is just as important as learning how.
Some people translate these words too literally in their minds, which can lead to using them awkwardly. Instead of thinking about direct meanings, think about how native speakers use them, as reactions, fillers, or softeners in speech.
Another trap is using the right word, but the wrong tone. For instance, saying "I mean" in a rushed or nervous way doesn't have the same effect as saying it calmly. Fluency isn't just about vocabulary, it's about rhythm, emotion, and confidence.
Also, don't try to use every new word you learn all at once. Focus on mastering a few, then move on to others. Using too many at the same time can make your speech sound unnatural, and you might forget the real meaning or function of each one.
A big mistake is ignoring the body language and facial expressions that often go along with these words. Words like seriously or honestly carry emotion. If your face doesn't match the message, It can feel strange or even confusing.
Learners sometimes get discouraged when these words don't come out naturally right away. That's totally normal. It takes repetition and time. The key is to keep practicing until it feels like second nature. No pressure, just steady progress.
Don't rely on these words to cover up mistakes or weak vocabulary. They're powerful tools, but they can't replace clear thinking and communication. Use them to enhance your English, not to hide behind when you feel stuck.
And finally, don't try to sound like someone else. You're not copying, you're adapting. Make these words part of your voice in English. Once you stop faking and start feeling the language, fluency becomes a lot more enjoyable.
All right, now it's your turn to take action. Here's a simple challenge. Choose 3 of the native-style words we've talked about today and use them in a voice message to yourself or a friend. Keep it casual, just like a real conversation.
If you're not used to speaking yet, that's okay. You can write 3 short sentences using those words and say them out loud until they feel natural. For example, "Actually, I love that idea." Or, "Honestly, that's really impressive."
Next, take one of those sentences and use it during your day, in your mind, in a note, or even with a language partner. Repeat it a few times in different situations. The more you say it, the more automatic it becomes.
You can also record a 30-second audio talking about your day using these expressions. Something like, "Well, today was totally unexpected," or, I was literally running all day." It's quick, fun, and super effective for fluency.
And here's a bonus tip. Try to use one of these words the next time you watch an English video. Pause it. Say a sentence out loud using the word. Then press play again. It helps connect what you hear with how you speak.
Don't worry about making mistakes. This is just practice, and every sentence you create brings you closer to speaking with confidence. Fluency isn't perfection. It's being able to express yourself with ease, and you're getting there.
Keep things simple and consistent. You don't need to practice for hours. Just 5 minutes a day, focusing on natural expressions, can completely transform the way you speak and understand English over time.
And remember, this challenge is about building habits. If you do it just once, it helps. But if you repeat it daily, it becomes part of how you speak. That's where real progress happens, with repetition, consistency, and fun.
So don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect sentence. Just start. Pick your words, say them out loud, and feel how they sound. You're not just learning English. You're building your voice in a new language.
We'd love to hear how it goes. Leave a comment with your favorite native-style word from today's episode, and if you did the challenge, let us know. Your progress inspires others, and we're proud of you for showing up.
Today we showed you that you don't need to memorize hundreds of new words to sound fluent. Just using a few key native-style expressions like actually, honestly, or totally can make your English feel way more natural and confident.
We talked about how these words work, when to use them, and how they help you express emotion, organize your thoughts, and react more like a native speaker. Not by copying, but by adapting them into your own personal style.
You saw real examples of how a simple sentence can go from basic to fluent just by adding a word like well or I mean. It's not about sounding perfect. It's about sounding real, and that's what makes people connect with you.
We also gave you a step-by-step guide to practice, even if you're learning alone. From choosing words, building sentences, repeating out loud, shadowing, to using them in your daily life, every step helps build real fluency.
And don't forget the common mistakes we talked about, like overusing the words or using them without the right tone. Being aware of those small details will help you sound even more natural and avoid confusion when you speak.
The best part? This is something you can start today. You don't need a teacher or a classroom. You just need your voice, your focus, and a few minutes of practice. That's how fluency is built, moment by moment, word by word.
So if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend who's also learning English. Helping each other grow is what this community is all about.
And if you made it to the end of this episode, that means you're serious about improving your English. Write the word native in the comments so we know you're part of the group that's truly committed. We're cheering for you.
You're doing more than just studying a language. You're building a skill that opens doors, connects cultures, and gives you the freedom to express who you are. Keep showing up, and that fluency will come faster than you think.
Thanks for being with us on the Speak English podcast. Keep practicing, keep growing, and we'll see you in the next episode. Until then, speak confidently, speak naturally, and speak from the heart. Bye for now.